waterproof because I already took a dunk in the lake, and Thor's decided I'm the official dunk tester for all our tech. You're welcome.
She's already covered in goosebumps. Somehow, the rest of us are just fine.
Freya's cold.
Okay, Freya's cold. I'll give you that.
And so I'm gonna switch these guys around, and I'm gonna go take a dunk, and that way you guys know for sure that these are saltwater proof, which we've already had these on the beach before. We've taken them to the beach many times.
They've been on and off the beach for about 3 months now.
But we just wanted to give you guys a really conclusive test, so if you want to bring them to the beach and get some awesome shots, whether you're surfing or just hanging out, you can. So I'm going to do kind of a swish test.
We figured that a little bit extra pressure just to show you guys. These are our only 2 cameras. We haven't had any issues, like we said, over 3 months. Kind of shake them around in there, mix it up. Alright, you ready to do a dunk?
Now you do not want to be switching mods when you are in the salt water. You want to have one of each.
Yeah, because this one this one has the 1-inch mod, this has the 360 mod. The 4K we have used, but we don't want to change mods while they're wet, especially not wet and sandy.
Water. You don't want to have the corroded terminals, which is what we've heard that with the salt water the terminals corrode. But we have had these, so.
All right, you ready?
I guess so.
Freya's calling mommy. We're gonna keep this test short, but we'll put a lot of footage in after.
Oh.
She said she didn't want to dunk in salt water. You love salt water.
I love standing in salt water. Dunking's a whole nother thing. Alright.
Is this deep enough?
I have to hold one because I have to plug my nose.
All right, one at a time then?
One at a time is
All right. All right, you're only obligated for 1 dunk. I'll dunk the camera with you. Go ahead. Before my Canon gets wet.
I know. I just have to figure out how I'm going to dunk if it's deep enough. Alright, let's wait for this wave. Alright. Wave. Wave.
Good job, baby. You all right? You got it? Good job, baby. Now she can be mad at me. All right. So, how many times have you dunked those in the water?
Oh, I can't even count.
But we brought them to the beach pretty much every trip.
We have.
The boys are right back out.
Hi, Freya.
What?
We've always brought them, we've stuck them in the sand. We have footage where it's stuck in the sand and we're building a sand castle and it gets wet. Hi, are you cold? No. I think you are.
And just to show you in conclusion, we will take them apart back at the RV.
Yes,
so,
we will.
Once we get them rinsed, dried, and so probably tomorrow or the day after we'll take them apart.
Like I said, if you bring them, have 2 sticks, have 2 setups because you do not want to change these while you're around salt water.
Or just be happy with 1 setup.
Or be happy with 1 setup, but like I said, we don't recommend doing that. Come on, Freya.
I just like to make sure that you guys know that we don't change mods while we're here. The mod, you know, because I have spare batteries and everything in here, and the 4K mod right here, and there's no issue when they're just sitting in my bag, because this has all my main Canon lenses.
Yeah, very good.
But I would not ever do it wet, especially not wet with salt water.
Yeah, this fresh water is one of those that you wash them off with fresh water anyways, but the salt water, if it does get in those terminals, it will kill it. All
right. Thank you for dunking.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you as my lovely assistant.
Oh, and we'll see you back at the RV. So we're back from the beach, and I'm going to be rinsing these guys off.
We don't really do anything like special per se.
No, but just a good rinsing. It's very helpful.
And it's just taking the time to make sure you go through thoroughly and knock any of the sand out, stuff like that. I'm trying not to splash too much out of the shower here. Just gonna shower off right after this.
And the salt water
quickly
is
get
sticky too.
Yeah, the stick quickly get a little bit sticky, but the thing is, they clean up all right. They work just fine. No issues after a few months. And
you just really gotta let them dry, I think, is the only thing.
Yeah. And we might even dunk them in with a little bit of soap here before we actually take them apart later this evening.
Yeah. Soap does seem to help. And just get
soap does help.
The last little grits and stuff.
Yeah. We just knock the initial stuff off right away because you want to do that. You can see there's some sand down in the bottom of the shower. And yeah, we'll wash them up some more, and then we will show you guys as we open the cameras up. And like I said, it's been a few months of off and on from the beach and everything like that. All right. Thank you. Love you.
You're welcome. Love you too.
Enjoy your shower.
I will. So we are completely confident that these can survive salt water. I think one of the only things, and it's not really part of the camera itself, the only issues we've had is with the sticks. So we have a dedicated beach stick because the sand just gets in there, and no matter how much you rinse this off,
there's always a little bit of grit.
There's always a little bit.
I got it towards almost perfect again, but the paint's a bit scratched up and everything.
Yeah, it gets scratched up. So if you are going to take it to the beach, be ready to have a dedicated beach stick. So I'm going to take these apart and show you guys.
We haven't taken them apart since the beach. So she only did the shower rinse. We didn't go back and do the soapy rinse like what we were going to do.
But just to show you that you don't have to, per se, do a soapy rinse with these. This is the 1-inch mod. There's a little sand right here where the lens cover goes. But that's not.
I always dust it off, personally, before putting it back together. So we've been taking them to the beach for, like we said at the beginning, like 3 months.
And there's some sand in the case, which that doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah.
That's not a big deal. I mean, overall, it's sandy.
We should have done a better rinse, honestly, but we figured we would show you what it was like. You saw how much she rinsed it off in the shower.
So, there's no sand in the terminals themselves.
Now, this slider right here, this can get a little bit gummed up. These batteries, you can hear a little bit of that grit because these are not completely isolated. The terminals are just fine, but you can hear there's a little bit of sand. Normally it works itself out.
And these things are waterproof, but not sandproof per se. Sand gets everywhere. Anybody that's ever been to a beach knows no matter how hard you try, sand gets in your vehicle, it gets in the towels, there's nothing you can do, it's impossible. So there's a little bit of sand here. Pull these apart. And like I said, it's not in the terminals. These are sealed very well. It's normally just where it's not sealed the best per se.
I would still definitely be careful not to knock any sand or anything else into the terminals, because that could be where some of these people are causing their issues, is they're open and allowing salt water to possibly get into
right. And
the terminal areas.
we talked about on the beach how you need to have your mod set up. You don't want to be switching your mods
on the beach or around the salt water.
You don't want to be switching your mods on the beach or on the water. So if you want to do a 360 and a 4K,
you really should have a couple cameras.
You should have one for each, because that's the way we found that that we can play with them on the beach.
We haven't tried switching the mods at the beach, but I always set them up either at the vehicle or back at the motorhome. That sand makes it a little sticky.
It definitely does.
But a good soapy water rinse, it will take care of all of that.
All right, what am I missing? Ah, that's what I'm missing. You can hear the sand. Obviously, in this case too, I mean, like I said, sand just gets everywhere. I mean, but you can rinse this out and it's not affected at all.
Yeah, the stick's the only one that's really, 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 really hard to clean.
And more sand on the top. I mean, you put it in salt water and in the sand. The grains of sand are so fine that they get in just about every crevice. And this battery is the same thing, where not so much, but this one.
That one's not as bad. Maybe I didn't dip that in the sand as much.
And sand around the terminals, but not on the terminals, which means no salt water or anything got in there. And same for this. It's around, but we've never had any sand or salt water get in the terminals.
And we've used both this 360 mod and this 360 mod. This one, I let the kids use it by the pool, again, without the lens protector, because I forgot to grab it.
And we learned our lesson, and now
we didn't learn our lesson. That's our second one.
Yeah, I don't want to have to send it back, though.
No. I might try one of those homegrown remedies for getting the scratches out of that.
So, I mean, overall, you can take these to the beach, and you can use them in the salt water. But there's
even in the sand.
Even in the sand.
You just got to take the time to clean them properly afterwards.
Exactly, and don't be changing your mods on the beach or after they've been in the water.
Yeah, because this is 3 months of off and on saltwater exposure, and I'm going to have her reassemble the cameras. That's the challenge. These are freshly charged. That way she can power them both on and show that there aren't any issues. Blow off the areas. I like to make sure I do that at least.
Go get a paper towel.
All right. So she's gonna get all of those kind of basically just dusted off, put back together.
I'm gonna get all the sand off so that way we're not putting sand back in putting sand in the terminals from just not getting it off, because I can see some grains of sand getting stuck
and falling in there.
And that's when you're gonna start having the corrosion. But overall, they're actually pretty fun to take on the beach.
Oh yeah. I know I enjoy it.
And they're definitely waterproof for sure. I've not seen any water in these whatsoever. I've seen drops of water here maybe, but I've never seen water in here. Just like there's sand over here, but there's no sand in that terminal. So they're definitely waterproof.
I've never had her reassemble. Normally I clean them myself afterwards, so we'll see how she does. If one of my cameras all of a sudden goes bad, we know it's her.
Thanks.
No problem.
And it's interesting, is sand actually got up in this lens here. Like on the inside of it.
Mm-mm.
No?
Nope. Those are on the outside of the lens, luckily. Nothing got past the thread.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would be very concerned.
Are you sure? Because I can't wipe this spot off if you look in there.
No, those aren't. Those are specks. I just need to get my glass cleaner.
Okay.
They're on the outside.
Alright. So I will do fresh batteries.
Yep. These still have lots of life left in them, but I like having fresh batteries.
And I think it just comes down to, if you're going to go to the beach, like we said, just have a dedicated setup to the beach. So that way, if more sand gets in it, it's not the biggest deal. You're not putting sand in all your batteries or all your sticks. Because for me, it makes it hard for me to use the sticks.
No, don't put it back in the case because we're going to be doing stuff later. So just assemble it. Okay. And you didn't have the battery on it yet.
This is why he does it, not me.
You can toss the cover back on it.
There's one. I don't know which 360 Mark.
So she set it up in selfie mode. She's finishing that one. You can see it fires up just fine. Hard for it to focus on. It's focused on Patty. Block her out. But yeah, no, it's doing just fine. No issues.
This battery giving me trouble now. I'm glad you're bemused, dear.
I like challenging you. Because I don't keep separate batteries, so sometimes I don't always clean all the salt out of the sliders.
No, it's...
Goes on and then you slide it over. And it locks. Oh, it's fine. It's on.
Are you sure there's a bigger gap than I am?
No, there's normally a gap. See, even she freaks out about the gap, and we have these cameras. So, power this one on. As you can see, runs absolutely just fine.
So, yes, you could take these in the salt water, but expect sand to get in the stick and expect to have to wash them out or blow them out or clean them really good. And I guess almost have a set of sand batteries, because it doesn't really affect them per se, like usage wise, but I don't think you want all your batteries making that grit sound.
She doesn't like that gritty sound here. You can put that by the mic.
Love you too, buddy. So, I hope this helps you guys, and I hope you have some great adventures with these. So yes, take them to the beach. I'd love to see some of the shots you get. Whether you're surfing, I've seen so many people do some cool things at the beach. I'm just not one of those people. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and we will gladly get back to you.